Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing your weekly horoscope forecast for all the zodiac signs for the week of December 31st through January 6th, 2019. Happy New Year to each and every one of you that are listening to this podcast, or to this forecast rather. And also want to thank you for all your support throughout 2018. So those of you that may be new to my channel for the very first time listening to this, please go ahead and take some time to hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish on this channel. Also, if you'd like to set up a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Also, before I get into these horoscopes, I might add that these are general in nature, so it's kind of impossible to write a horoscope that fits every single zodiac sign out there. So just take what you can, and what you can't, hold on to it. So without further ado, let's get into your horoscopes. Aries, this week for you, Aries, it's going to be a week in which you are with your partner. Many of you are going to be with your partner, and you're going to be celebrating the New Year's, ringing it in. But at the very beginning of this week, there is decisions that you have to make. And it seems like there may be two decisions that you have to make, whether or not it would be around work or another area of your life. But this is something that you've been holding back and maybe putting off for quite some time. This could be also about your health, getting your health in a better shape, or maybe recently you've had some setbacks in your health that have really been brought to your attention. So Spirit is basically saying right now that this is going to be something that you need to focus on as the new this new week begins, the new year. A lot of you also that are single Aries out there, could have the potential to be meeting someone that is new to you, someone that is not in your your circle of friends, or that you've known for quite some time. This would be somebody entirely new. And some of you could be having some reservations whether or not you want to jump into a new relationship or not. But Spirit is basically saying to right now is probably not the best time to start anything new, because a lot of you have a lot of focus on other areas like your family life and your work life. So right now you're really concentrating on earning income and job opportunities. Some of you may be traveling for the New Year's out of town. That's very possible this week. And a lot of you may be coming back. And some of you may be moving completely, or getting ready in the initial stages to move. But there is a lot of change, a lot of fast movement this week around everything. You may also be finding that someone that you care about is giving you and someone else attention. So it's not like all of the attention is not on you. It could be like your partner focusing on family members or their parents, and not really giving you a lot of the attention that you feel like you deserve or need at this time. So not that you're needy in many cases, but you could be feeling kind of like that they are really not paying attention to you. In reality, they are, but they may be preoccupied in their mind with different things going on in their life right now. There's also a lot of you right now that could, again, like I said, when it comes to love right now, is not probably the best week for it, to start any new relationships or etc. A lot of you will have reservations. A lot of you will be pushing back a little bit. And if you are with a partner, there could be some discussions and things that come up this week, maybe like a disagreement, or where you feel like you're kind of on the short end of the stick, where basically you keep giving and giving, or doing something and it's not requited. Your affection is not responded to by your partner. So there is definitely a lot of tension this week for a lot of you Aries out there. The best way to handle that is to really just retract, relax, and know that everything is going to work out if you can control your temper, because a lot of you this week will be on a very high, your temper will fluctuate, and it could be where it gets out of control and you say something, or you snap back at someone without even, with any disregard to how they may feel, and they maybe didn't mean it in a rude way to begin with. So This is something definitely to watch this week as this new week begins for you. So this was the horoscope forecast for the sign of Aries. Blessings and love and light. And like I said, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button as well as the notification bell icon. Taurus, this week for you, Taurus, it is going to be a week in which there's a lot of celebration, where you may have ended this weekend. There could have been some powerful discussions, some disagreements, but now you're in a much better place for many of you out there. So as the beginning of the week begins, a lot of you are going to basically be celebrating. You're going to be having a good time. There's good energy surrounding this week. A lot of you that have partners are going to be with your partner, spending quality time with family, friends, your partner, and just really enjoying, the energy this week. It's very powerful. It's the new year, and like I said, it's going to be very, very good for a lot of you Taurus signs out there. A lot of you are going to be having questions that surface in your mind, whether or not, what's the next step for you, what you should be doing next. Kind of wanting to, a lot of you are wanting to really make a decision, but you're kind of undecided in what you're wanting to do, and you'd figure that it's the new year. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions and kind of already know more or less what they need to work on or what to do. But with you, a lot of Taurians out there that would be listening to this, I think a lot of you have not yet made any kind of New Year resolutions, and you may not at all. Because that may not be who you are, or you may not believe in keeping New Year's resolutions. But whatever it is, it feels like you are reaching out to someone at a distance. A lot of you could be calling your families, wishing them a happy New Year's, kind of catching up with old friends that you haven't seen in quite some time. Oddly enough, a lot of you may be also starting the new year definitely contemplating your friendships and connections out there. For many of you out there, it could be that you are deciding to kind of cut ties, and kind of end a situation with someone that has been festering for quite some time. So it's not out of the question. For those of you that are single right now, the energy is like it's an opposition. So what I mean by that is the universe probably is like shifting things right now, where your main focus will not be on, or should not be on, starting a new relationship, even though many of you may want to, or you could be feeling like, those of you that are single or maybe seeing someone but it's not real serious, and they're kind of, cutting communication off. This is going to be a week where they may pull back on communication. They could be very busy. It's just going to depend on, on them, and then on yourself as well, because whatever emotions that you are emitting or that you're thinking, that's going to feed the situation, and it could, bring that energy forth to you, where you feel like, if they're not communicating, well, you're not going to communicate back, and it's kind of like you're both mirroring each other's emotions at the same time. A lot of you also may be feeling like, whereas in the past few weeks that you've been feeling kind of like you're running on empty emotionally, you're just drained. A lot of you could be on the path to restoration, rejuvenation in that area, and feeling much better. There is a male here who wants to emotionally wants to give you a little bit more of his time and energy as we go into the weekend. So it's going to be all dependent on you, how you respond to that, how you react to that. But that's the energy for a lot of you Taurians out there for the week of December 31st through January 6th. Have a happy new year, and once again, if you'd like to book a private reading, please visit my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Blessings and love and light. Thank you. Gemini, this week for you, Gemini, it's going to be quite interesting. And I say that because a lot of you have been working extremely hard these last couple of months of 2018, and Happy New Year to each and every one of you first and foremost. But as we go into January, and it's the new year now. You are dealing with some kind of decision making, and I feel like this is around money. There could be two different things that you're wanting to spend your money, or two different options, maybe planning a trip, maybe there's a vehicle. A lot of you are contemplating now, this first week of January, something, maybe you got some gift cards or some money from, Christmas, and a lot of you are trying to juggle and kind of think, how can you spend it in a way that it would bring love to your life or bring you to a happier place to make you happy. There's a lot of intense emotions that surround us this beginning of the week. A lot of backstabbing that has gone on, or arguments over the weekend, going into the new year. So around New Year's, expect the unexpected for Geminis out there. Many of you could be experiencing some disagreements. You could be attending a party, someone goes off on you, and you're gonna, there could be a fight. Kind of control your temper and how you approach this, and know that whatever it is that's going on, it's people that are not probably in their best state of mind. They could be inebriated, they could be on substances, that are around you. So kind of isolate yourself. If you're getting the hunch to stay home with your partner or stay home with your family and not go out, follow that hunch, because your intuitive abilities are very much at their peak. But you want to avoid any kind of conflict. You really don't need that drama in your life right now. And so many people around New Year's, when they're celebrating and they're inebriated, or they're just, wasted, as many would say, they're not in their best state of mind, and they will, start drama. But for a lot of you this week, it's going to be about working very hard. A lot of you will be going back to work, and feeling kind of overwhelmed, because there's a lot of catching up to do, especially if you've taken off, for a few days, or you've been off New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. For a lot of you that are single, the new year is going to be starting off on a very big bang, a celebratory type of good energy. A lot of you could have meet someone, at a party, or at a get-together for New Year's. You could be meeting someone, and so there's an opportunity for love this week for many Geminis out there. Or if you already met someone recently, for that relationship to kind of go to the next level. But there's definitely a lot of communication of love, a lot of love communication, a lot of texting, feeling overall sort of loved to a good point in your life. Many of you also are kind of really on a spiritual path as the new year begins. You're trying to retract away from anything that's negative, anything that doesn't work. So you are fighting and going towards people that care about you. So if there's someone new in your life that, like I said, that is showing you affection, and you're single, you may very much well, start something very platonic, very intense this week. But when it comes to your home life, you need to pay very close attention, because there could be some upsets in the home that, among children or family members, that just bring drama and headaches. So for many of you, that's something to definitely watch as we get into the new year and this new week. And a lot of you this week, by the end of the week, will be staying at home, kind of recovering from all the festivities and all the intense energy that December brought to you now that you're in the new year. So a lot of you will be staying, close to home, kind of not wanting to associate with anyone, and just recover from all of it. But that's the energy this week for the sign of Gemini. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said, also, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, hit the red subscribe button. Blessings and love and light. Cancer, this week for you, Moonchild, it's going to be a week, again, where Happy New Year, first of all, to all of you Cancerians out there. There is definitely going to be an energy this week where many of you are spending time with your family, that, maybe you've been, isolated away from your family. You haven't really spoken to them, and you know, you could suddenly get an invite to go and meet them for a barbecue or some kind of party, you know, a New Year's party or New Year's Eve party, whatever the situation is. But there is a lot of reconnecting with family, feeling this happiness when it comes to being, you know, in with family. That's kind of like the energy that surrounds you this week for many of you out there. So it's definitely a good time to really kind of celebrate and be out there. For many of you also, it is going to be a week where you may be finding that a lot of you may be finding that there is some love communication being exchanged by you and maybe someone new in your life that you really feel very close to, very bonded. This is, like I said, a very chill week for many of you Cancerians. There's going to be like traveling, so you could either be going to meet, you know, a partner that maybe is long distance, live in another state, or if it's long distance relationship, or maybe they live in another city close to you. But there is definitely going to be some exchange of energy and traveling. There is some traveling this week for many of you. Maybe you're going out of town and, like I said, to be with family for the New Year's, and then you're having to travel back. Just be safe on the roads. Pay attention to traffic. Not that anything would happen, but being that it is, you know, New Year's and people don't really like to pay attention to the road, whatnot. You could easily, you know, make sure, you know, also be sure to check your tire pressures and make sure you know, your vehicle is well maintained, like oil wise and water wise. For many of you out there, if you haven't had maintenance in quite some time, especially if you're taking a road trip or coming back from a long distance trip, because there could be some issues that surface, you know, on the road. This is definitely also going to be a week where you're sitting pretty with your finances for many of you Cancerians. You've maybe come into some money, like I said, gift cards or something from, you know, Christmas that was a gift. And so a lot of you out there are kind of, you know, thinking, you know, and planning. This is going to be a time where many of you may be planning a trip for spring break, or, you know, later in the year. Could be like a cruise that you're planning on taking. But there's definitely plans, you know, around how you're going to spend your money. A lot of you also are coming out of a situation which resulted like in backstabbing or some kind of argument, you know, that happened over the last couple of months with a male in your life, whether this was a brother, you know, a partner. But there's definitely some healing that is taking place this week, the first week of January. So this month of January itself, you know, there could be a lot of you that are reconnecting with someone from the past that has hurt you. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, I would not be surprised if this new year, you know, this new week that's starting, you know, that you would be connecting or possibly coming in contact with someone from your past again that is going to be interested in like providing you healing. You know, and asking for forgiveness in many ways. So it's very, very interesting. Stay tuned to what happens this week. But this is the energy for the forecast for the sign of Cancer for this week, December 31st through January 6th. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Blessings and love and light. Thank you so much. Leo, this week for you, Leo, Happy New Year's to each and every one of you out there. This week is going to be a week in which you start off feeling you're going to be in your emotional state. Come New Year's Eve, thinking about someone from your past. There's a lot of memories, things that are going to be surfacing up. It's not going to be an easy start to the week. Let's just say that. A lot of you are going to be feeling empty or void, even though you may be with a new person in your life, a new partner, and you may have children, you know, or family members. There is going to be a sense of this feeling of like being distant, a feeling of not being complete. There is also someone that is has been feeling trapped, and this very much could be you. You've been feeling trapped, but this week you kind of are emerging away from that that illusion of feeling trapped, because you're not really trapped in a situation. We are only trapped when it comes to the way that we think and not changing those patterns. But for many of you out there, you would be changing that this week. There is a lot of coming out of this stuck pattern. A lot of you also are going to be celebrating with someone, like I said, there's going to be celebrations and things, but your mind is always going to be drifting towards the past or thinking about things that, are not being said. There's a lot, like I said, that right now is going on in your life that feels very chaotic at certain times. So this week there's going to be some emotions that come up that maybe you have hidden under the surface that you haven't really discussed. A lot of you are struggling with codependency and being able to let go. It's nothing to be ashamed about, but you really, as you're going into the new year, if you set out some new year resolutions or new behaviors and ways of thinking, you need to cut that out of your life because it doesn't serve you anymore. And it's just holding you back and creating stagnation in your life. And it's like you can hear this over and over, but doing it is a different thing, and it's very hard to. But a lot of you will be going forward and finding some emotional or sexual satisfaction with a partner in your life right now, trying to kind of, a lot of you will be using that energy to kind of forget someone else. If you still have feelings for like an ex or someone else in your life. And that's not good because in many ways, it's like a rebound in many ways, even though you may not see it that way, but on a spiritual level, it is. So you need to be very honest with yourself and with the person that you would be with. And it does feel like and if you are with someone new in your life right now, there could be some disagreements because, again, both of you are very powerful. Both of you may be very stubborn, and there could be some discussions or distance that is created between the both of you. But this week it is going to be a week where a lot of you will be also traveling out of town, going some places, doing things, getting pretty busy, just being busy and holding yourself kind of in being in a busy mode to try to, stay on top of things and really just enjoy time. But like I said, even though it's a new year and there's celebration, a lot of you may not be enjoying it to the fullest because your mind is still and your heart is still somewhere else or with someone else in thought. So this is the horoscope forecast for the sign of Leo. Thank you so much again. And if you'd like to book a private reading, please go to my website at www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Virgo, this week for you, Virgo, it is going to be a week of a different type of week. Even though it's the new year, a lot of you may be in, the mode of celebrating, but a lot of you also could be experiencing some heartache. There could be something that goes down within, New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. But there's definitely some energy that's kind of intense that could be going down, causing some upsets in your life. There's this feeling of almost being like alone. Many of you may not want to be in celebratory mode. A lot of you may not be staying up until New Year's, counting down to New Year's, and staying up late. Many of you may be staying home. And for some of you, you could be right now in a new relationship with someone that you really care about, that really gets you on many levels. And a lot of you could be, declaring, how you really feel for someone right now. But there's a lot of decisions that you have to make. There's a lot of, this week is going to be fly by really quick because there's a lot of things that are keeping you preoccupied. Your social circle, your friends texting you, wishing you Happy New Year's, you responding back to texts. There could be some work emails if you work from home or if you're at work. And you've taken off, your boss could have, may be calling you back in, depending on, where you work. The schedules could be changing completely or shifting around. So there's a need to kind of adjust and be adaptable to change this week in particular, because not being able to be adaptable to change is going to cause you to feel frustrated, in many ways feel like upset. But there's someone definitely thinking of you right now. This could be someone from in your current life that is thinking of you in conversations that you've had So expect like an unexpected surprise text from someone that maybe you felt like, you know, intuitively they cared about you or there's something there, but you weren't sure. But many of you could be finding that, you know, or maybe you met them at a New Year's Eve party or a New Year's party, and you weren't certain how they felt about you. So that's the kind of energy that kind of surrounds this week for many of you. A lot of communication. There's also something about feeling like justified, feeling like that you're validated in many ways. Not that you need that, you know, validation from anyone, but that you were right about something and they were wrong. But that's something that's going to be coming up this week, very much so, that you could be feeling like, you know, someone argued with you to prove a point, and then you ended up being right in everything, and they didn't want to acknowledge that, and that could really irk you. But let it go. Don't feed that energy at all this week. But that is the energy that surrounds the sign of Virgo this week. So I want to thank you for tuning in. And again, Happy New Year. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. So blessings and love and light. Big angel hugs to all of you Virgos out there. Libra, this week, Happy New Year's, first and foremost, for all of you Librans out there. This week, immediately, the energy that begins this week is that a lot of you are feeling like you're coming out of, you know, something that was rough, maybe around a relationship, like a discussion recently, an argument, something that really was very darker in nature that kind of brought you a lot of disturbance. Maybe you lost some sleep over it and you cried and were very emotional. It was something very intense that happened over this last couple of weeks, and now you're kind of easing away from this, and there is a sense of money loss around you right now. So many of you could be struggling with money or not having enough and trying to manifest it in many ways. And this week is going to bring you some opportunities to do so if you pay attention to the signs and you really are manifesting and thinking outside of the box, not just, you know, saying, oh, well, I'm struggling with financially and I don't know if the universe is hearing my petition or if it's anything's going to ever change. The fact is that it is going to change, but you have to take the initiative to go towards things and jobs that would give you that that prosperity that you are seeking, or that financial security. There is a male that wants to, you know, fulfill you emotionally and maybe communicate with you. So if you are seeing someone right now or you're with someone, expect some unexpected surprise texts, maybe lovely texts, you know, or flirtation going on in many ways. A lot of you also could be stuck with someone that is a very low vibe right now energetically, and it could be that you are thinking of separating or just going off and spending the weekend, you know, or the whole week away from them with your own family, you know, and they can stay behind. But there is something, you know, for a lot of you out there that may not actually want to travel, and there could be plans canceled at the last minute if you were planning to do something. So that's something that's coming up from Spirit very much so, very strongly this week. Many of you also could be finding that there is a lot of spiritual research that you're doing, questions that you're asking about yourself as you go into the new year. You want to be very prepared. A lot of you could be practicing meditation and struggling with it. The key here is to have consistency and to try and try again. No one gets it perfect the first time, you know, as you have spiritual modalities that you're learning or implementing into your life, whether this is meditation or it's yoga or some other form of, you know, spiritual release or healing. It is going to take some time for you to kind of adapt to that and for it to make sense in your life and where you're at. So don't give up. The key here is consistency for this week in everything that you do. Be sure that you're consistent and that you're keeping your word in everything that you do and say. Other than that, happy New Year's. Again, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can visit my website. It's listed here. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing week. Scorpio, this week for you, a Scorpio, it's a week of deep spiritual healing going into the new year. A lot of you may not be wanting to celebrate. There could be this struggling with emotions. A lot of you could be struggling with your emotions right now and asking yourself, are you making the right decisions? Are you emotionally, following maybe someone in your family and their advice or expertise rather than following your heart and your soul and what you know to be true in your heart? So there is definitely a struggle here that you're going through. And even though you may be telling yourself that you're happy, many of you Scorpios out there are not happy right now with entering a new year. There could be some celebrations, but it's almost like there's a third-party relationship. So it's you, the person that you love, and maybe that person seeing someone else as well. So there is a potential for heartbreak for many of you out there. A lot of you may be expecting some communication and not receiving it. That person could be ignoring your text or making excuses completely. And this is going to kind of hurt on a spiritual level for you. A lot of you may be trying to compensate for that emptiness that you're feeling right now by surrounding yourself with family members or friends that that really do care about you, but you could be fighting with that. A lot of you also are very stubborn, and so you're only going to see your way of thinking right now. Anybody else that tries to impose their own beliefs upon you or tries to kind of mold you into what they want is not going to work. So there's a lot of focus. A lot of you will be throwing yourself into long hours at work or searching for work, communicating with work. There's a lot of concentration around keeping yourself busy right now. This week. There is a finality this week also. This could be like an ending to a way of thinking, maybe something that a part of you that is dying, not in the literal sense, that you're dying, but physically, but spiritually, there's a piece of you that is being purified and that's dying in many ways, that to make room for a rebirth, for something new in your heart to blossom and open. So many of you could be actually feeling like there is a new opportunity for your career life that's coming up. A lot of you could be having some plans to go out of town, maybe to a job interview, or there's some kind of communication that is going on this week that is around you, searching for new opportunities to strengthen your finances and whatnot. And you may be feeling a little impatient. So Spirit is reminding you that right now patience is very much needed in your life, and it's not a week to kind of ignore that. So this is the horoscope for the sign of Scorpio. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week and Happy New Year. Sagittarius, this week, Sagittarius, you're not putting up with any crap. You're not putting up with anyone that is abusive or emotionally, being unavailable for you. Many of you out there are going to be cutting a lot of toxic people out this beginning of the week, in this new year. So Happy New Year to all of you. But definitely you're cutting out a lot of things. Anybody that's being shady, you can see right through them, and you're going to be cutting that out of your life completely. And a lot of you are just tired of the drama. You're tired of the lies, the betrayal, the deceit, and feeling empty. So a lot of you are replenishing your soul by surrounding yourself this week with people that really do care about you, and doing the things that you are very passionate about. And while it's not easy to trust the universe has your back, and that things are going to get better, a lot of you are taking a leap of faith, and that is going to pay off. So a lot of you are really contemplating and sitting strong in your your own beliefs and your own goals and your ambitions, what you want to see manifest. And it does feel like there is someone that may not there is someone that is strong. So those of you that are single right now, single Sagittarians, there could be someone that is a very strong man, that is, or woman that is coming into your life, and they've been through a lot of problems themselves, in many ways, but they are coming into your life and it feels like they are very much a warrior. So they know what you're going through exactly. Be open to that communication. There's somebody that is very fierce, very strong-willed. So if you're single, like I said, there's a potential for that to occur this week. Many of you also are really just contemplating, when it comes to your work life. A lot of you could be feeling like there's some shadiness going on there too, where maybe like a coworker is backstabbing or betraying you while they smile to your face. So be careful of the conversations that you're having this week, especially if you have to work this week. And it's a new year. Be careful with what you're saying. If you're dissatisfied because you had to work during New Year's Day, but you still get paid, time and a half for it, or whatever the situation is, just be very, very mindful not to complain or to really, allow yourself to get to a negative place, because I feel like in many cases, there's people around you that are like energy vampires and that are lower vibrations and very cunning, meaning that they will, try to kind of get you to say certain things to see how you operate or how you feel about someone else, maybe like a superior, to kind of use that as leverage against you, and knowing what your weakest points are, what your triggers are. So just, yeah, stay mindful. Don't talk too much about your personal feelings towards anyone there in the office or in your workspace. Stay more focused on completing your work and then, celebrating and taking some time off, because this weekend a lot of you Sagittarians are going to feel very tired, emotionally drained from all the, the past couple of weeks and the month of December that was very draining on many levels for many people. So yeah, that's the energy that surrounds Sagittarius for this week. I want to thank you so much. Happy New Year's again. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. And if you would like to book a private reading, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Capricorn, this week for a lot of you Capricorns out there, Happy New Year's, first and foremost. There are some darker feelings, things that, that you haven't been discussing that are coming to the forefront, and it's about releasing. This is a moment now not to hold on any longer to things that you've been thinking about that are darker in nature, that have been disturbing your peace. Maybe there are assumptions about someone or situation. Maybe you suspect that your partner is cheating on you, or that there's something, that going on there. Basically, Spirit is basically saying to let go of it. Release it, get it out of your system, say what needs to be said. And it feels like your home life is impacted this week. So there could be some arguments, discussions. It's not necessarily a week of celebration for a lot of you Capricorns. Yes, you may be celebrating, ringing in the New Year's, and it's a good energy, to do that. But a lot of you also are very much focused right now in your love life, and you're stuck between secrets and, fearing the inevitable, which is a confrontation or an argument. So it's like you're stuck in the middle of this energy and you're bouncing back and forth and you're like not sure which way to go. But a lot of these sleepless nights that you've been having, nightmares and just darker energy vibrations that you're holding on to, it's being released. There is someone new for a lot of you that may be leaving an old relationship behind, or that you're single now. There is some male energy, that is coming into your life, or it could be a female energy, but there is someone new that is wanting to come into your life, wanting to give you their time and their energy. This could be more sexual in nature and not just, talking, or money that they're giving to you, but rather, they're wanting to get some kind of bond there, some energy exchange. So this week, for many of you, Now, the problem with this week is that going into the week, as you get into your workspace and your family, the people that surround you daily that you have to deal with, there could be some arguments that come up, or feeling like some frustration, in many ways, feeling disappointment in some ways. So there is a finality here, and this could be you just walking out or quitting a job because you have something already securely lined up. But whatever it is, you're done with it. Like, there's a sense of being so tired of the same thing, and nothing gets better, and you just give, and give. So there is a finality that is going to open doors, new doors, for many of you out there, Capricorns. So I want to thank you for tuning in. This is your horoscope for this week. If you'd like to set up a private reading, go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Aquarius, this week for you, Aquarius, it's going to be a week in which many of you are feeling a little empty emotionally right now. This could be even though you're surrounded by someone that you care about, or that cares about you, or friends. There's a sense of running on empty and emotionally feeling void. It feels like things are going to change drastically this week for you in many ways. Those of you that are intuitive, or that have spiritual abilities, will be tuning in a lot into your intuitive side and tapping in to kind of help you with discerning situations and people that you'll have to interact with this week. But there is a sense that this week that you are kind of like turning away from someone or something, and feeling like you left something behind, that there's an emptiness. So if you're in a relationship, or you are in some kind of friendship, there could be some powerful discussions or arguments that possibly surface. A void that you would be feeling. Some of you are feeling very trapped in a situation, and while you may be doing your workspace and very dedicated to your work life and earning money, there's something that is still keeping you feeling emotionally not the best. It's almost like the people that you'd be surrounding yourself with could be very negative in vibration, that they are bringing bad luck to your life in many ways, bringing bad energy, causing things to manifest here in the physical world. And you could be questioning, what is the lesson behind all of this? And right now it is, that there is a greater balance that needs to be established in your life in many ways. And so a lot of you could be asking yourself, how can I establish that balance? How can I find that balance when my life is so busy and there's a set schedule to do certain things in my life, that it doesn't give me time to really focus on my own thoughts? But you are a fighter. You're someone that's very strong, so you are going to find the way. It's going to be revealed to you, whether it's in a dream or when you're in meditative state. It's going to be, revealed to you. There's going to be revelations, and there is two different decisions that you have to make, two different paths that you can take this week, and you're going to have to choose one. But like I said, before you do that, there's going to be some battles, some fires that you're going to have to put out. There's going to be some powerful discussions. Emotionally, you're going to feel kind of empty and not in the best place, after being around people that are very difficult to get along with, or people that are very superficial in many ways. And it's some of you may be feeling like you're having to be superficial in many ways to match their vibration, or to make them happy, because ultimately you want to make everyone around you happy. So, but Spirit is reminding you to be your most authentic self, that you don't have to be anything other than yourself, and that's all that matters. So big angel hugs to all of you Aquarians out there. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Pisces, this week for you, Happy New Year's, first and foremost, for a lot of you Pisces out there. This week is going to be a week in which you're having to fight someone or fight something. There's something that's not very settled. It could be your work life, that they're, very demanding, and there's people in there like a boss or superior that is being very challenging and not the best energy. They could be bringing a lot of their personal problems in their personal life into their workspace. So the beginning of the week, a lot of you could be celebrating, with family or friends, people that you're with right now, a partner, and you're finding that, through them, you're finding your strength. You're feeling powerful. You're feeling a little bit better about yourself because right now you do have a lot of insecurities and things that are coming to the surface and being revealed. Whether you know that on a conscious level or subconsciously, but there is some inner work that you're doing. Many of you are feeling kind of empty inside, and you're feeling like, you need to be alone for a while. Maybe there's a powerful argument with a partner or some disagreements. And you could be finding that you're developing some codependency issues in your life right now, and that's not who you are or who were at any given time. And so there is some changes here that are going on, very focused around your money. But like I said, around a partnership, there could be some things that are not that good, that are leading you to feel kind of empty, feeling like they may be going off somewhere to do something, but you're feeling kind of empty in many ways. There is a sense also that you are trying to make everyone happy, but ultimately, what are they doing for you, and what are they giving back to you? That's kind of the question that you would be needing to ask yourself from spirit, and really honoring yourself as you're going now into a new year and starting a new phase in your life. But that's the energy that surrounds Pisces this week. So thank you once again. Blessings and love and light to each and every one of you, and have a happy, happy new year.